Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up! Tutorial. So I have a really cute project to share with you today featuring the A Little Lace stamp set. I've gotten so much use out of this set. I've really enjoyed it. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's tutorial. So this card is actually going to be pretty quick and simple, but I love how it turned out. Okay, so we're going to start with this piece of Sahara Sand cardstock. So this is cut 3 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then I'm going to be stamping in Bumblebee ink. This is actually one of our 2022 in colors. This is my first time to use this ink color on a project, I think. I don't think I've used it yet. So I'm just going to ink up that large floral image. And I'm going to put it kind of in the middle of this piece of cardstock and just kind of tilt it at an angle, so right about here. Alrighty, that looks good. I'm going to bring in my sentiment and I'm going to stamp the "You'll Always Be My Friend." I love that. And you could write so many different sweet things inside of the card. With this sentiment, and then there's also this that you could put in the inside. You could say, "You'll always be my friend, you know too much." I like that. Then I'm going to leave my ink out and I'm going to go ahead and take my card base, again Sahara Sand. This is cut 8 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. I've scored it at 4 1/4 inches. Give it a nice crease. And then I'm going to take some of this In Color Designer Series paper in Bumblebee and just add a little bit of my Stampin' seal. And I'll go ahead and put this on the front of my card, and I'm going to put it in the center, and I'm going to do some stamping right under this piece. So that's why I left my ink pad out. All right, got that down. And I'll just bring in a piece of scratch paper here. This is actually the Stamparatus paper. Grid paper, that's what it is, Stamparatus grid paper. Okay, so I'm going to take that little border image that comes in the stamp set, ink that up, and I think this is the direction that I want it. Yeah. And I am just going to stamp this across the bottom. Let's see, I'll do it right there. Ink it up, and I went off of the edge. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, and now I'm going to bring in some of the coordinating Bumblebee ribbon, and we are just going to add a little bit of ribbon across the top here of this panel. Snip that off, and I'm going to tie this in a bow. And I find that if I want, whatever direction I want the tails of my bow to hang, I need to tie my bow the opposite direction. So I want my tails to hang down, so then I have to flip this upside down to tie my bow to get my tails to hang that way. I don't know why that works best for me, but it just does. So I'm gonna have it go off to the side, and I did not give enough ribbon to that. All right, that should be better. This ribbon actually does tie really, really well. Okay, yep, I think I'm satisfied with that. Looks pretty cute. So I'll just trim down the ends a little bit. And then I'll put some, whoops, not that many, some dimensionals on the back of this layer. Alrighty, got my backings off from those dimensionals, and now I'll just center this panel up on the front of my card. Sorry, I like to line up my grid lines there. Okay. Center this up. Yep, press it down. And then to finish this card, I'm going to actually add some of the Playing with Patterns resin dots. This is actually crushed curry, but I feel like I mean, look at that. It matches really well with the bumblebee. So I'm going with it. I'm just gonna add one of the large ones here in the center of that flower, and then this next size down in the center of that one. And that finishes up this card. I really love how this turned out, and I think this would be a really great design to go through and do all of the in colors. It would be fun, or even with one of our other color collections, just make one in every single color. You could change up the sentiments, and you could have a variety of different cards in a fun set of colors. So I really love how this card turned out. And of course I have my matching envelope, so there you have it. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's tutorial, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget, you can find all of the measurements and supplies for today's project over on today's blog post, which is linked down below in the video description. And I do have all of the products down below in the video description with clickable links as well for your convenience. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I'll be back again very soon with another tutorial for you. Bye now.